Now, some of you may know that I really do like to try new things, and a viewer recently said that they'd used one of my recipes to make this dish. Now today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to be making a Shakshuka, which is an Arabian dish. Now these are poached eggs, which are poached in a wonderfully rich tomato sauce. Now this is actually really easy to prepare. We're going to start off in a medium-sized frying pan, which is quite deep, and I'm using a cast iron because what you can do is down the road you can put this into the oven and bake it for the last little bit, which we're not going to do here today. And so I've got my medium-sized pan, and I'm just going to put in a little bit of olive oil, probably about 2 tablespoons worth. And we're just going to let that heat up a little bit. We're going to put in 1 diced onion and 1 bell pepper that's been diced, and I'm actually using a mix of yellow and orange. And we're going to fry that up just until those onions become slightly translucent. So about 3 to 5 minutes. While we're waiting for that to fry up, this is a really good time, if you're enjoying this video, to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Remember to turn on notifications too, so that you know when my next video drops. Now we're going to add in approximately 4 cloves of garlic, and if you know anything about me, you know that there's a little bit more than 4 cloves worth of garlic in here. And just stir that in. It really does smell wonderful. And now for the real star of the show. We're going to add in 1 can of diced tomatoes, and I'm using my diced tomatoes that I did on an episode a while back, and I'll give you that link at the end of this video. But add the whole lot in, all the juices, everything. Give that a good stir to get that all incorporated in there. We definitely want all those juices in there, and that color is just amazing. And now to that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of paprika, and I'm just stirring each one in as I add them. And then, of course, one of my favorite spices, which is ground coriander. We're going to add in half a teaspoon of that. And the reason why that's one of my favorites is because that flavor reminds me a lot of very many South African dishes. And finally, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Now, if you want to make this a little spicier, obviously you could add more, because this is where that spice and that underlying heat is going to come from. I don't like things very spicy, so 1/4 teaspoon is more than enough for me. I'm going to add that in, and then we're going to really make sure we give that a good stir. We want to make sure that all of those spices are nicely mixed in there, nice and evenly throughout. And that smell is just amazing. Now what we're going to do is, keeping our heat at a medium heat, we're going to wait for all of that to start to come to a boil. And as you can see, our tomato sauce is starting to boil rather nicely. And what we're going to do is we're now going to take a spoon and just sort of make a little well like that, and pour in a broken egg. Now I definitely recommend breaking an egg individually into a small ramekin or something like that, so it makes it a lot easier to control when they go in here. And just pour 1 egg into that cavity, and then open up another cavity for a 2nd egg, and we're going to do 4 eggs total here. And there you go. And now what you're going to notice is that this egg is going to start poaching really quickly in there. And you can do one of 2 things. You can pop this into a 375 Fahrenheit oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, or until the eggs are as hard as you like them. Or you can simply cover them with a lid like that and allow them to poach until the eggs are done to your satisfaction. Now, of course, eggs are a very personal thing, so you can poach these for as long as you really want to. Mine have been going for about I'd say about 12 minutes. And as you can see, most of the eggs are pretty well cooked and ready to go. Now it's just time to serve, and you can serve it onto a piece of bread or just as it is onto a plate. Now, of course, it smells absolutely amazing. I can definitely smell a little bit of that tomato in there, of course, but I can smell a little bit of that coriander and the cumin and it just smells very fresh. It's a really, really nice smell. Now, you can, of course, serve this just as it is. I'm going to try something like that. You can also serve it with toast, and I'm going to be using some rye bread to do that as well. But I'm certainly going to try just a little bit here of the egg with some tomato, because it just smells so very good. That's wonderful. I put a little bit of parsley on the top there. That is really out of this world. Now I'm going to try some with some toast because I like this rye bread. Now, of course, you can make your eggs slightly runnier if you prefer. I like mine a little bit better done, but this is just wonderful. That's incredible. I love the peppers in there, and I love the onion is definitely in there, and you can slightly taste the garlic. I might add a bit more the next time I do this. But you can definitely taste that coriander in there. You can taste that cumin and the paprika. And that little hint of heat is nothing. I mean, it really is incredibly mild. I really like this dish. It's something new and it's something different. And so this was a really great suggestion. So thank you to that viewer who used my diced tomato recipe to make these. Now, if you try this, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below how this turned out for you. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And remember to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video drops. It's also a great time to say thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. Without your support, this channel would not be possible. If you'd like to follow me on all of my social media, you can follow these links down below in the comment section as well. Now, if you'd like to try my diced tomatoes recipe that inspired our viewer to make this dish and therefore inspired me to make it, you can find that link right here. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy eating.